wallet, phone, keys, knife. Never leave home without one, kids.
And I'm crazy for loving you.
Good morning, fellow bushcrafters. So it's my last day on this trip, but I found a little time to make one last video. I promise I will make it quick. I reviewed the footage of the Martini knife, and boy, that was a bit rambly. I don't know how I'm going to edit that, but I don't have time to do another take. But yeah, this will be a quick video. And this isn't about a bushcraft knife, this isn't about a fancy EDC knife or an axe or anything. This is about a really nice keyring knife. So this is the Whitby Sprint EDC, so sprint as in running. This cost me £14.95. I got it from the Cyclair website. I think that's what it's called, Cyclair. I'll put the website on the screen. So I got it in orange because I'm a fan of orange, and I don't know if you can see it all the way from there, but it's quite well worn. I've been carrying this for now probably about 3 months, and one of the first things that really impressed me about this little knife, apart from just the overall craftsmanship, was just how sharp it was. This is possibly the sharpest knife I've ever received. Yeah, honestly, for a small folding EDC knife that costs less than £15, this was easily as sharp as the Martini knife or the Ruik Hornet. And though I'm not a fan of the shaving test, and I didn't do it on camera unfortunately, but yeah, I did try shaving a little bit, and it did take a few hairs off. So yeah, really impressive edge from the factory. So unfortunately there's not much in the way of tests I can show you. This is just a little folding EDC knife. Yeah, I'm certainly not going to baton with it or anything. I did try to do a little bit of feather sticking. I'll try to find the photo of that and show you guys the results. Because the handle scales are aluminium, it's not particularly grippy. It's just not good enough for those kind of tasks. I find that even with fairly dry hands, it moves around a little bit, and that little bit of movement throws off feather sticking. You have to hold it really super tight, and it gets uncomfortable with that. However, for normal use, just opening boxes, opening packets, which is kind of what this tool is for, it's absolutely perfect. I have used this on a very, very tough container for quite an expensive aftershave balm. I wanted to get every little bit out of the packet, so I cut the packet open, and honestly, yeah, those kind of you know, squeezy bottles are con. There was like at least 4 or 5 uses still left in there, so you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a bit of a joke. They should have given something a bit more like a toothpaste roll, so you can really get a good squeeze on it. But yeah, quite a tough container. It pierced it very well. I really like the shape of this blade. It's fairly aggressive, however, and I would say for bushcraft tasks it's probably not very good. It is also a flat grind. However, for just utility tasks it's really great, and having this piercing tip makes it super easy to get into packaging. It's not a locking knife, it just has a lockback. However, because the point is, I think it's centered. If it's not centered, it's very nearly centered, which means when you're applying pressure on it, you know, the pressure goes sort of straight down the blade into the point, and it doesn't want to fold on you. So it's really quite safe to manipulate the point of this knife. And it does also feature a little pry bar, or I guess very thick flathead screwdriver. I don't really use that, I just use this to attach my keys. And yeah, overall I would say the craftsmanship is amazing for 15 quid. It has this really nice gunmetal grey coating on the blade, which so far has lasted. Yeah, there's no scratchings on the coating, works really well. So let me tell you some statistics. The handle is 9mm thick. It is made out of 12 CR27. The blade in Imperial is 1.75 inches. It is 2.75 inches closed. The blade stock is 2mm thick. It weighs 39 grams. The total length when it's open is 11.8 centimeters. The actual blade part is 4 centimeters, and it has a 6mm choil. So in total, the what you would call the blade is 4.6 millimeters. Sorry, 4.6 centimeters. So yeah, let me show you a little bit. So let me show you. This is some plastic. You may recognize the outside from a knife I did a review on. But yeah, I don't know how thick this plastic is, but this is the sort of standard packaging thickness, and that's what I'm talking about. I have my fingers here, but I feel perfectly safe. You know, it pierces very well, cuts very nicely. If I can find a corner of the paper. Paper's a little bit damp. It rained last night, and there's still some droplets falling from the trees. So it did get caught a little bit in the middle, but I think it just hit a little damp spot on the paper. So let me show you again. Yeah, beautiful. And honestly, yeah, I've used this notepad for other tests as well. What was on the other side? Anything important? No, hopefully not. I've used this for other tests, and this is genuinely one of the cleanest cuts I've ever seen. So yeah, really sharp, really slicey knife, really great for utility use. I have another packet here. I'll show you the knife in use. So this is a sharpener. If I find the time, I might quickly make a video after I've taken everything down and packed up the car. If I find some time, I wanted to do a video about sharpeners. So this is the 6-in-1 Sharpo. So yeah, it's sealed in its packaging. Let's see what this knife can do. It's a small blade, but really handy. And there you go, straight in, no problems. You know, made short work of that cardboard, made short work of the plastic underneath. Yeah, I can do this all day. So yeah, great for opening packets. And yeah, I will go and get my ferro rod and we'll see if it strikes a ferro rod. However, I don't think it will, and I don't really care if it doesn't. Yeah, a really absolutely superb EDC knife. I would highly recommend this. It is available in other colors if you're not a fan of orange. And yeah, there are other brands that do very similar knives. So the first one I think of is Bear and Son. Their blade looks very similar to this. They also do a larger version, a UK legal EDC, but like a full size, like the maximum within the limits of our laws. But yeah, the full size Bear and Son slip joint EDC knife, absolutely stunning to look at. Honestly, work of art. I would love to get one. It's got an aluminium handle exactly the same as this, a really nice polished blade, but I'm just never going to use it. And the blade being aluminium, it's going to suck for bushcraft. It's going to be exactly the same as this. So yeah, just, you know, I might be tempted to buy it just to add to a collection, but I'm not really a collector per se. I would like to get use out of my knives. But yeah, honestly, beautiful, beautiful looking knife. I'll try to stick a picture of it on the screen. It probably won't come across, but in person, how shiny the metal is and how sleek and clean the lines are. Honestly, really looks great. Another company that does a similar knife to this and the Bear and Son knife, although it's considerably more expensive, is the James brand company. I think it's called James brand, or the James brand. I'll stick a picture of it on the screen as well. So yeah, there's I think there might be other knives. I'm not sure if these scales are made in China, and yeah, maybe the same handle scales, aluminium handle scales, are sold to different companies. I don't know. It's a bit like car manufacturers. Nissan uses parts from other cars inside and whatever, and you know, other car manufacturers swap parts around, and you'll notice that sometimes the body is the same, it's just the lights are different. But yeah, there are quite a few different options for this, but the Whitby Sprint is the cheapest I've seen, and honestly the performance of the blade, how well it's held up, I really like how as a keyring it falls sort of flat against my keys. This is just my trolley coin. If you're an international viewer, we need coins to release our trolleys, so then we can go do our grocery shopping. But yeah, it sort of falls very nice and flat. It's really comfortable in a pocket. There's nothing to snag on. It doesn't collect pocket fluff or anything like that. Yeah, the centering is spot on. I'm really impressed with this little EDC knife, and I'm a lot happier to pull this out and use it, and I'm a lot more inclined to use this than I am my previous keyring knife, a little wish.com knife. I have it with me actually, I'll go get it. So this is my old keyring knife. It's still available on sale. Recently I found it on a website. Yeah, I think it was this exact same blade. I saw this on sale at the Bath Bushcraft store or shop. I can't remember how it is, but yeah, this little knife, which I got it from wish.com, and I'm sure it's available on various other places like GearBest and Alibaba and wherever you get your cheap Chinese crap. But yeah, it's a perfectly respectable little EDC knife. I'm not going to knock it too much. However, knowing that it was, you know, straight from China, very cheap little knife, and how stiff the opening and closing is, and if I loosen the little screw, then it gets too loose and it starts to sort of unravel itself. So I have to keep it fairly stiff, and yeah, it's quite gritty to open it. The sharpening is really wavy. So So yeah, this just always felt a bit cheap to me, and I was never really particularly sort of proud of it. And so yeah, I really wanted a replacement to this little knife. However, it did serve me well, and honestly I would still recommend this if you're on a tight budget. I think the Bath Bushcraft shop was selling it for a £5, I think, and you can find this for, actually you'll find it for a similar price on these Chinese websites, because they have to put their postage on top. But yeah, still a great little knife, but it's not really you know, something you would show off. It's just utility. And the Whitby Sprint wasn't my first attempt at buying a nicer knife to replace the Wish.com one. There we go. So my first attempt at replacing the Wish.com little EDC knife was with this one, the Boker Plus Rocket Titan. I can't recall exactly how much I paid for it. It was, I think I got it on some kind of offer, so it wasn't as bad as RRP, but still it was quite expensive. I think it was just under 30 quid. The Titan part refers to titanium. It has a thick slab of titanium on the back here. And so yeah, this is it. It's not exactly UK legal, but because of the one clip blade and how just utilitarian it looks, and I was going to use it as a keyring knife, I was willing to take the risk, though I would not recommend this. I'm not saying you should, and you know, don't try to blame me if you you know, take one of these out and the police stop you and take it from you or even arrest you. But yeah, I was willing to take the risk just because it looks so utilitarian. However, I was really unhappy with this knife. My main gripes with this knife, the back part is just uncoated titanium, and it is a scratch and fingerprint magnet. And yeah, I carried this for all of about probably just under 3 weeks, and yeah, it looks like crap already. It has lots of little scratches on it, and yeah, I just wish they had coated it in the same sort of nice slick grey that they have coated the blade in, but they didn't. It has a really nice smooth opening. The open construction of it means that it's a real lint collector. All your pocket fluff will get drawn to this knife and get, you know, stuck inside the various bits. So yeah, that's another issue I had with it. I'm just overall, I'm not particularly impressed with it. Like the screws along the side here, they're these tiny little screws, and they're right up against the edge. And when you're looking at the back, you can see these little, they look like dints. It looks like damage where the screws meet the edge of the back. That it just doesn't look very impressive to me. And yeah, like I said, it collects pocket fluff, and the back is just a magnet for scratches. But one of my biggest issues with it, I mean, look, it's already got some pocket fluff in it. One of my biggest issues with this is that if you're holding it very gingerly, it's fairly easy to use. It's got not very much grip going for it, but just for opening packets and things, it's fine. But, well, actually, I say that even for opening like cardboard boxes, etc., there is a danger, and the danger comes from the exposed lock here. I find that very often I'm using it, and I'll be using it, and then I'll unlock the blade like that, and because of how smooth the mechanism is, the blade just drops. It feels a bit grittier now, I don't know if that's after being stored in a shed for so long. I probably should have stored it better. It has some specks of rust on it actually. Eesh. I really should have stored this better. This is a fairly expensive knife, but oh well, I stored it in a damp shed along with the rest of my camping equipment and stuff. But yeah, it seems a bit stiffer now, but when it was new, you know, you would just be using it, you would accidentally unlock it and the blade would fall, and it would fall even more freely than this, and it would just close onto your fingers. And yeah, if you take quite a tough sort of grip on it, you're trying to hold it, you're trying to use it, the blade closes on you. Yeah, it was a bigger issue. It doesn't seem as big an issue now, which is interesting. Maybe it just needed breaking in, I guess, but I don't know. I found it to be a bit of a safety concern. I wasn't happy with having this as a keyring because of how it got scratched up. Also, unlike the Whitby, which falls fairly flat and is very nice in the pocket, I could feel this, and yeah, you have the screw here and everything. You have a few edges on this that you can, when you're sort of rummaging around in your pocket, you can feel them. It just wasn't nice for my intended use of it. Now I get that they never sold this as a keyring tool, but you know, you would think that a small knife like this could be used as a keyring, but yeah, definitely not a keyring tool. I remember this being advertised as sort of like a dog tag knife. That idea is just weird because this would be very cold against you if it ever touches your skin. And again, you've got this exposed blade where if you knock it and you get it open, I mean, it has a little detent, so it's not the easiest thing to open, but it's fairly easy, you know. So if you accidentally open it and it's hanging on your chest like that, that's not very safe. So yeah, overall just not very impressed with this. And this was considerably more expensive than the Whitby Sprint EDC, but yeah, I'm going to try and sell that one day. Hopefully I get some money for it. Hopefully somebody sees the sort of like the collectible value of it. It's my understanding that this Boker Plus Rocket Titan was designed by a fairly big name in the knife community. I mean, yeah, I'm not that big on these kind of designer knives or anything, so I didn't recognize his name, I haven't memorized it. But yeah, really not impressed with this Boker Plus Rocket Titan. You know, even if you're not using it as a keyring, just in your pocket, I think it's not very good. So yeah, where would you store it then? You know, I guess you could, if you have jeans and you have that small little pocket that they have in jeans, you could always slip it into that one. That might be a good idea, but that means you always have to wear jeans, you know. So yeah, anyway guys, this video was mainly about the Whitby Sprint EDC. So to end on a positive, this is great. I love the shade of orange. It's starting to wear off now, but in my opinion, because it's from my usage, and you know, I just think it adds character to it. You know, it shows that it's being used. Whereas you know, the little scratches on the titanium, you know, that just looks cheap and tacky. And also, this is from 3 months use, whereas that one looked like it had been through a war zone after a couple of weeks. But yeah, really like this little EDC knife. If you're on the market for a handy little EDC knife, and you don't want to, you know, you're not looking for something that's right up against the limit of the law, you know, like 2.99 inches or whatever, then yeah, this will certainly meet your needs when it comes to opening packets or whatever. Great little EDC knife. So guys, what are your thoughts on this? Have you handled the more expensive James brand or Bear and Son knives? You know, if you've handled this one and those ones, are they considerably better? You know, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, consider subscribing. Usually I do more outdoorsy themed content, but I might talk about EDC stuff as well occasionally. So yeah, till next time guys. Well, usually I would say keep enjoying nature, but on this occasion I would say I don't know, keep enjoying the stuff in your pocket. You know what, that's a crappy sign off. Keep enjoying nature guys.